Hey everybody, what's up? Coming to y'all from, again, Asia. I am in my crib now, here in the beautiful Southeast Asia of the Philippines. Yes, I'm very messy. Yes, you can see a lot of water here, but I'm going to actually explain some of this and kind of tell y'all why there's so much water here. But anyway, I am about to, as many of y'all know, if you've been following me, you know that I work from 9 p.m. Southeast Asia time to 6 a.m., which is Southeast Asia time, and which is 9 a.m., right, to 6 p.m. New York time. So I work 9 a.m. to 6 p.m. New York time, which is 9 p.m. to 6 a.m. Philippine time. Got it? Got it. 12-hour difference, right? Very simple. So, I just wanted to tell y'all real quick some of the things that I do when I'm preparing to work remotely. In this particular case, I'm here in the beautiful country of the Philippines. This is going to be a place where I am going to eventually settle down, have a family in, and just really stay here because I love this country so much. If you watch some of my other videos, you'll see how I'm strategically going to come here and stay permanently in the Philippines. So one of the things I think that a lot of you might find valuable is just kind of knowing what are some helpful things you may need to have when you're working remotely, when you're going different places to work remotely. In my particular case, I'm going to go with the first thing I'm going to say is always have like an extra laptop, okay? I know this may sound like kind of, simple, but trust me, just have a laptop that you don't use that much. Like this one, I don't use this that much. I'm just going to close this down a little bit. I don't use this that much, but this is pretty much a brand new Surface laptop. So let me just close that. I do have my regular laptop here, and I have you want to get a quality webcam. Do not get a cheap webcam because, as if you watch some of my other videos, you don't want the people who you're working with to kind of think that you're working in another country, right? You want them to feel like whatever, like they can see you. So try to invest in a really good webcam. To be honest, this is a LG. This one was a little bit expensive. I paid about $89, but there's actually ones that's more than that. But this one, every time I am using it, people tell me, "Oh, I could really see everything. I could see you clearly and everything like that." The second thing is you probably can't notice it, but this is a laptop extender, and I'm gonna try to put the description in the. I'm gonna put the link in the description. Let me go over to this side. I'll show you. This is a laptop extender. So you see, you have this side and you have this side, and you put your laptop in here. I think this is a critical piece of a working from home setup. You don't need an extra monitor to be doing an extra monitor, and these of course close. So they basically close so you could put them in your book bag. Anyway, so get in a quality webcam, getting always a backup laptop, and having these extenders. Let me tell you guys something. Here in Southeast Asia, you might think it's so cheap to get a lot of different things. And while that might be true for some of the foods and stuff like that, when it comes to electronics, trust me, it is not easy to get electronics for cheap. And I'm actually going to go through a couple of those right now. Another one here. This is just basic. Again, some of you might think it's very simple, but having an extra mouse. You see, I have this mouse here. Then if you come over here, excuse me, it's kind of messy. I kind of put this like this on purpose to show everyone. See, I have an extra mouse here. Okay, so having an extra mouse, in addition to having an extra mouse, you want to have chargers. Trust me, these chargers, like this mouse is probably like $20, but here in Asia, this is going to run you like $60. You know, I don't want to get into politics, but there's a lot of tariffs and stuff like that. So don't think you can come here and get a cheap mouse. You can't. It's like $50, $60, and that's for the low end one. Bring an extra charger. You definitely want to have an extra charger. Same thing for a keyboard. You know, you definitely want to have an extra keyboard. You want to have multiple USB cords. Just buy them. Get USB-C, get regular USB cords. Trust me, you will need it. You will not think that you need it, but trust me. Try to get as much of these heads as possible. These little charger heads. You will need it. You see, I even have another extra charger there. So I have a charger there, right? Another thing, you know, and I obviously have another charger here, right? And there's actually two more inside the other rooms. Another thing you want to get is these standalone, and I'm going to put this in the description. These are good for if you need extra ports for HDMI and USBs. You want to get these. These are amazing. These are so amazing to have. Again, these are not cheap, but if you want to replace this here in Asia, this is going to be like $400. But if you want to get it in, you know, before you come to Asia, I think I paid like $150. So not cheap, but whenever you use these, the display on your laptop, the quality is going to be really good. Another thing I want to say is, again, maybe some of you might laugh at this, but this is basically a walking generator. This is a walk-in power station. Okay, you could turn this on. I always try to keep this at a minimum of 90. Of course, it goes up to 100. But if you lose power, which you will lose power, and you will need an emergency source of power. You will. Whether you're in Vietnam, whether you're in Thailand, whether you're in the Philippines, and wherever you are, you will lose power one day. And as you can see, it has all of the USBs. It has the USB-C. It even has a flashlight here. I don't want to put it on, but hold on, let me see. See, I'll just put it on like that. There's like a little flashlight there in case if there's an emergency, you could walk with this. If someone needs to find you, you could put on that blink. Anyway, there's a plug here. This is really good to have. I'm telling you. I'm also going to put the link in for this as well. Don't make any money off of this. I'm just telling y'all. This is what this makes me feel so good when I'm actually traveling with it. Another thing is, as you can see here, I have some medication here. I have cholesterol issues, so I'm trying to reduce my cholesterol, as some of y'all might already know from some of my previous videos. So I have cholesterol and I have acid reflux. So anyway, the reason why I'm saying that is you want to always bring your medications with you, because and always bring an extra empty bottle. The reason why is if you have your prescription bottle, you could actually take it to some of the pharmacies, and they'll see that you have the prescription, and they'll actually refill it for you. Of course, I'm not saying it's going to be cheap, but I think it's cheaper than, you know, America. I always come, you know, strapped, so I have more than enough to last me. So yeah, if you have your diarrhea pills, like for instance, I have some more pills in there called Cipro. That's what my doctor gave me in case if there's something going on in the water here, or I get severe diarrhea. Sorry if it's TMI, but just letting y'all know. So medication is very good to have. Even if you think you don't need it, bring it anyway. Bring it anyway. I know there's some people out there saying that you can get a prescription. I mean, you can get drugs without a prescription, but I don't know. I would just try to get your actual subscription if you can, and then go to, like in the Philippines, they have Watsons. In Thailand, they have Watsons. Watsons is very well known around Southeast Asia, so I'll just use Watsons as an example. Watson probably won't give you your prescription without seeing your actual name and your doctor's name on there. Anyway, just wanted to say that. Another thing that I wanted to talk about, I didn't pull it out, but this is one of the small local currencies here, the Philippine peso. Whenever you're traveling, do not bring your money from your country. Don't do it. Don't do it. Don't bring. I have about $200 that I can't exchange. I just can't exchange it. Do you know why? Because when you go to the local foreign exchange place to convert the money, it cannot be imperfect. So I have USDs that I actually got from the ATM that has markings on it. It literally has markings on it. And they said, no, sir, we cannot change it because your money has pen marks on it. Okay? And then even like the end of the US dollar, it was kind of chipped a little bit. But again, it was like it's a valid, currency. I don't know. They said they weren't able to take it. Anyway, let me see if I could give you guys, excuse me, just give you a view here while I find an example of one. Okay, this is one here. Okay, you see how it's probably kind of hard to see. Hopefully you could see the end of that. You see how it's like kind of ripped right there? See, it's ripped. They will not take this. This is like, to me, it's almost like a perfect, anyway. They will not take it. So don't bring your currency to whatever current country that you're coming from. Just go to the ATM, pull out the money. There's a lot of people giving advice on, how, which ATMs and all that stuff. I'm not going to get into that, but what I will tell you is most ATMs ask you, do you want to accept conversion? Or if you don't want to accept the conversion, never accept the conversion. Do not do it, because if you accept the conversion, you are going to likely pay more of your local dollars to buy that local currency, pesos in this particular case. Anyway, whenever you go to your destination, take out money from their ATM and then do not convert. But the whole point is, what I'm saying is, don't bring like a whole bunch of US dollars if you're from America like me and thinking that, well, okay, I'll just give them cash and they'll give me their currency. Yeah, well, they can, but you better hope that the ATM that you got your money from does not have an imperfection on it, because they will not convert it at all. So just letting you know. I know I mentioned this earlier, but these are also just extra USBs. Trust me, you will need it. Bring as much as USB cords as possible. Sometimes the USB cords just die. They just flat out die. You know what I'm saying? So that's kind of another thing. One of the things I always find helpful is whenever I'm traveling, like here in the Philippines, they use 220 volt, and in America we use 110 volt. So, for instance, my clippers here, if I plug this into the wall right now, it's going to damage, and it's going to probably have a little slight spark. Okay, so what I do is I plug this into here. I plug it into here, and then I use this, and I plug this piece into the Philippine outlet. So I like to have two just as a backup. So you want to have a converter. It's basically called a converter, right? It basically converts to the local country's wattage. This is very important. If you go ahead and you just plug in your clippers, in my case, into the socket, it is going to just explode. It happened to me before, I'm telling you. So that's my advice on that. Another thing is always keep locks, because you just want to keep extra locks. I don't like to, buy locks when I'm going abroad because when you're traveling through the airport, you may actually forget your key. Trust me, you could forget your key. So always have another one because what's going to happen is if if um, if the airport needs to go inside of your suitcase, they are going to pop it if you don't give them the key, if you don't have the key. So anyway, once they pop it, right, to look to see what's inside, because a lot of times they'll see like they'll see some kind of electronics and they'll say, hey, I just need you to open it up really quick so I can see what's in there. So you always want to bring extra locks. Okay. All right. So just got a couple more things, but those are pretty much it. I mean, whenever I'm traveling, I always bring a military grade. See that? This is a military grade flashlight. Just because, again, you just never know. I always pack Tylenol because you get. I know some of you don't like using Tylenol, but Tylenol is very, very powerful. It works for me. And anything else that you need. This is after I'm finished shaving, so I always bring this. You are not going to be able to find these bumps stoppers here in Asia. You're just not. And this is another one. Anyway, so just always really trying to be prepared. Like I'm pretty much I'm getting prepared to work in about 2 hours. This is pretty much my setup here. Hope you guys like it. Just give y'all a little. Actually, let me turn on the light here. Excuse the darkness for a minute. A little view here. Absolutely beautiful. This is just absolutely beautiful. I hope it's not too dark, and I hope you guys can see it. But this is Manila, BGC, Bonifacio Global City. Absolutely beautiful place. My favorite city in the whole world. Just here, you could sit down here, have your little breakfast and stuff. And pardon me, I am kind of messy, but I did kind of put this all out for you guys to see. But yeah, so this is my setup, and I just really rock and roll, I just like log in at 9 p.m. Usually I'd probably log in like 8:15. I look at my emails and stuff like that around 8:15, and I always turn off my notifications so people don't know when I'm logged in. But I always like looking at emails and stuff like that beforehand, and then I'll turn on my Microsoft Teams so the rest of my team could see that I'm online. But usually I like to turn my notifications off, and I just like to look at emails and do what I have to do. I don't know if you kind of want a little tour of the kitchen. I'm gonna end this in a little bit, but got my air fryer, right? Got my rice cooker, got the oven, the stove, got my microwave. Rice is life in Asia, so I love rice. I got my kettle to make my tea. Got a little microwave. You have to have a lot of water, and this is what I was gonna tell y'all. The reason why I had all of these waters here is because you should not drink the water in Asia. I don't care. You should just not drink it. No offense to anyone from Thailand or Vietnam or the Philippines or wherever, but as an American, I would highly recommend do not even brush your teeth with the water that comes out of that faucet. I just won't do it. So everything I do, I brush my teeth with fresh water. Everything is with fresh water. Even the ice, I always put water in that ice tray. I don't put regular water there. So got my little grill if I want to make some burgers. And then, you know, I got my washer and my dryer, you know. Got my little soap up here. So another section there, but yeah, yeah, I got that going. All right. If y'all want to see the handsome young fresh, that's me. This is just the walkway here. All right. And this room is really, I don't really use this for anything. This is just a closed kind of room. Yeah, I don't go in there for any reason. And I just got my this is the bathroom I mostly use. So yeah, it's got, you know, regular, very modern bathroom. Yeah, this is kind of where this is where everything happens in here. All right, this is where I sleep. And as you can see, I have my CPAP machine. So of course I need fresh water when I'm using my CPAP to sleep. And then this is, I don't know if you could see it, but outside is the JP Morgan Chase building. There's two. This is the JP Morgan Chase building. If you have a credit card to JP Morgan Chase, it's probably the call center's probably coming from across the street. So there's JP Morgan Chase, there's Deutsche Bank here, there's Wells Fargo here. I mean, there's so many different banks here. They're not commercialized, so you can't go in and open up a checking and a savings account. Not even the locals can do that. The purpose of these banks here are they do mostly foreign exchange trades, which is what I do. I do a lot of foreign exchange payments. When I need to make payments into the local currency, I have a contact at these banks, so I work with all of them, basically. This bathroom here, just another bathroom, basically. I don't really use the tub, not really a tub person. But yeah, this is just, the main bathroom. But, so as you guys could see, there's modern stuff in Asia. It's not like, oh, one of the things I wanted to mention, and tell me if y'all ever get used to this at all. But there is this here. This is basically, yeah, this is basically a bidet. So I don't use the toilet tissue. I use the bidet, B-I-D-E-T. And let me tell you something. Ever since I've been using that bidet, I just been really questioning. All these years I've been using toilet paper, and I'm like, man, was I really cleaning myself? Sorry, I know that's like TMI, but just really was like, damn, am I really, cleaning myself? So anyway, got my little closet here. Like I said, very, very, very modern. Yeah, so these are my blackout curtains. So as most of you know, I sleep from 2 p.m. to like 7:30 p.m., 7:45 p.m. So I put my black curtains there and that black curtain over here so I could sleep during the day. So I have my black curtains there. So, wherever I'm staying, I always make sure that I have my blackout curtains. Okay. So yeah, and for the most part, like I said, I don't really think it's that complicated to work overnight. You just got to be disciplined. You just really got to be disciplined, and you really just have to say, okay, well, what time am I going to eat? What is my eating schedule going to look like? When am I going to have time to do any entertainment, any recreational activities? You just really have to discipline yourself, but you could definitely do it. As long as you have the right tools, make sure you bring everything with you. Like, you might not think you need something, or, oh, well, I could just buy it there in Asia. No, you can't. And some of these things, maybe you guys think it's like very easy accessible. No, it's not. I'll just tell you something random. I use this thing called Kiehl's. I love it. And, you just can't get this facial fuel one here, anyway, that's just a random example. So always bring extra from your home country of what you think you'll actually need, because trust me, you'll definitely need it. You can order on Amazon. You might pay a premium and stuff like that, but there's a lot of products that you could order on Amazon. So, and they'll be, Western enough for you. But yeah, just really wanted to let y'all know my setup here. A lot of you have been showing love, man. A lot of y'all been showing love. A lot of y'all been also hitting the like button. So can I just say it again? Can you please hit that like button for me? That's all I'm asking. I know some of y'all like to watch my videos and you send me a lot of private messages, but just I really would appreciate it if you could just, like and subscribe, subscribe to the channel. It actually makes me feel so good. It makes me feel like, wow, somebody actually subscribed to the channel, or, somebody liked it. Or, when you guys comment, it just really makes me feel good when people comment and, on anything. So yeah, I hope this is definitely helpful for you guys. Again, there are just so many opportunities out there for you to just work remotely and, not have to be dealing with the high cost of wherever you're coming from. So, I hope this really motivates y'all, but I am going to be posting a lot of content, a lot. I have actually a lot more from Vietnam and some from Thailand that I have not posted yet. I have some from the Philippines as well. It is, I don't know if I should say it's typhoon season, but there's been about 2 typhoons so far. My thoughts and prayers to all of the beautiful people of the Philippines that lost their lives during the typhoon. And, I unfortunately don't have any recommendations of where you can send any money. But what I have been basically doing is wherever I have been going, if I see like homeless people on the street, I just try to buy them food, and as crazy as this sounds, as weird as this sounds, there's a lot of stray dogs. So what I've been doing? I buy a lot of food for the stray dogs, because guess what? The stray dogs need to eat too, right? So yeah, I would go into like 7-Eleven, and I would buy like a lot of the chicken there, the fried chicken, and I would just walk and try to find, let me give you guys an example of what I actually bought a lot of Franks too. Can you see these Franks are going to be for the dogs. This is actually a perfect example. So the dogs actually eat this. So yeah, that's a perfect example. So you could buy stuff for the pets. If you don't know an organization to donate to, like a reputable one, you should just try to feed the dogs if you're in Thailand, or if you're in Vietnam, or in my case the Philippines, because I know I'm speaking about the Philippines right now, but Thailand actually had a typhoon, and Vietnam also had a typhoon as well. So thoughts and prayers for those in all of those countries. Thoughts and prayers of people in Jamaica. There was a hurricane in Jamaica as well. So many hurricanes going on right now. So thoughts and prayers for that. I'm from New York City, as y'all know, and we had a lot of flooding in New York City. Thoughts and prayers to those. People actually died too. So there's a lot of natural disasters going on in all parts of the world, not just Southeast Asia. If you could really comment, like, subscribe, please, tell me something in the comments, make me feel good, but I am going to be posting a lot, because I think like a lot of people just need to know, like, hey, I'm thinking about going remote and I could work overseas, and but let me tell y'all something, it's not easy, but it's not hard. It just takes a lot of discipline. I know I'm always going to say this on every one of my videos, but I want to say it one more time. If you are working USA hours, I'm just going to use New York as an example, 9 a.m. to 6 p.m. Okay? That means 9 p.m. to 6 a.m. What time do I sleep? So let's say if I log out at 6 a.m. in the morning, like I'm working tonight, right, which is Tuesday, and then I'm going to log off Wednesday morning at 6 a.m., which is going to be 6 p.m. there. So when I wake up at 6 a.m., when I log out at 6 a.m., when do I sleep? Well, I sleep at 2 p.m. and I wake up at 8:30. Usually I try to get like 6 hours, 6.5 hours, right? So what am I doing from 6 a.m. to 2 p.m.? I'm doing whatever it is I wanna do. 6 to 2, I'm doing whatever I want to do. So those are the things that, and it's so cool because now, as I'm recording this, they always ring your bell every day and they ask you if you need, if you have garbage. So yeah, if you heard the dog, that's what it was. But anyway, so I sleep from 2 p.m. to 8:30. But from 6 a.m. when I log out tomorrow morning, because I'm going to work overnight, when I log out tomorrow morning at 6 a.m., usually I'll just go and get something to eat or whatever, I'm going to do another part of this video and show you, literally tonight, I'm going to show you around 12 and 1, midnight, right? Midnight and 1, I'm going to show you when I go on breaks, and I'm going to show you how many people are actually working overnight, just like me. Like there's people at JP Morgan, like I said. There's a lot of bankers around here. Like, Starbucks is open 24 hours. Starbucks is open 24 hours here. There's a lot of Dunkin' Donuts, right? There's like a lot of different places here that you could get coffee and stuff like that. And you could actually meet people too. Because there's a mall here called Uptown Mall, and it actually doesn't close. It's like all night, right? So I'll actually give some footage and show y'all how that actually works too. So, yeah, I hope y'all enjoyed this. Coming to y'all from the Philippines, BGC. Gonna be here for, a few more weeks. And then after that, I'm going to go to Vietnam again. And then, yeah, so just stay tuned. And I really hope y'all are, going to comment and subscribe, because I'm telling y'all, like, I am boots on the ground. As y'all could see, I'm here. I am officially, here in Asia. I'm living here. I am loving it. I'm also going to talk about the visa, the visa situation, like, how you do the visa situation. I think, in my opinion, the Philippines is the most friendliest. You could basically stay here up to 3 years. It's just really awesome, but again, I want to use that additional blog to go over some more of the specifics. But basically, as soon as you come here, they'll just give you 30 days, on the spot. You don't have to apply like Vietnam. You have to apply. You got to wait for your visa to be approved. You don't have to do that. And I'm just talking about Americans, by the way. Sorry. Just talking about Americans. I'm not talking about other countries. And because I think India, they give you 15 days, but 14 days or something like that. But as long as you keep renewing it, the Philippines, you could stay here for up to 3 years, which is really good. And then once you leave, you could leave for like a day or two, and you can come back. But anyway, I actually want to do a whole video on that, because there's a lot of caveats that I want y'all to know. I'm not going to be one of those people that's just going to post something and like, oh, Young Fresh Global Travel told us we could stay in the Philippines for 3 years. No, there's a lot of caveats to that, right? So Stay tuned, and thank you so much for stopping by the channel. Like I said, I am going to be posting a ton of videos. I'm going to be posting some of my favorite spots. I'm going to be posting some of my advice when you're getting around the Philippines. Like, I'll just tell y'all right now, one of the things that I do is I ride bikes. A lot of people say they take Grabs, which is the equivalent to Uber. I ride bikes. You could rent bikes here. MOOVR. If you look at my blog on Vietnam, you'll see that I rent bikes. You don't have to stay in traffic. Look at this, people. I don't know if you could see down there. Can you see down there? Can you see, like, the traffic is at a standstill? It is at a standstill. Why do you want to take a taxi? I don't get it. I mean, fine, maybe for the AC, for the air conditioning, but really, if you look over to the side, you'll see all of those motorbikes are passing those cars. I'm not spending a premium amount to sit in traffic. I would rent a bicycle. So when I say bike, I mean bicycle, sorry. And I need to lose some weight on my stomach and my legs, so I think riding a bicycle too, you get your cardio in there, you know. But of course, you could rent a motorbike, but I don't really have any advice on that, so sorry, can't tell you. I honestly love riding my bicycle, and there's bike lanes here, there's bicycle lanes. Don't know if you could see it over towards the side. There's like little bike lanes, so there's bike lanes there. I don't know, why would anyone want to keep taking taxis and Grabs? I don't know, unless if you're going somewhere really far. But even if I'm going 2 miles, 3 miles, I'm actually gonna rent a bike. I am gonna rent a bicycle. If I'm going to the mall, I am renting a bicycle. You know, 20 cents just to rent a bicycle. 20 cents, come on, that's like, you know, I don't know. So I love bicycles. I get my cardio in. You know, it's better than sitting in that traffic down there in BGC. Manila, the traffic is just insane. So thank y'all for watching Young Fresh Global Travel Channel.